What's up, rock stars? It's Rox, and I'm coming to you today with a review for, actually a recap for the Soul Train Awards 2017. Came on last night. I had no intentions of reviewing this because I normally don't do the Soul Train Awards because usually I'm traveling and I usually don't even see it until a few days later. But I was at home. Hope you guys all had a really good Thanksgiving. I really did. My son came home and surprised me, so I was happy to see him. So anyway, yes, it was a wonderful holiday weekend, and I was able to sit down and enjoy the Soul Train Awards like everybody else. So I decided, let me do a quick recap of the show because it was not as in-depth as other award shows. Okay, with all that being said, let's get to it, shall we? All right, you guys. So the Soul Train Awards, for the third year, I believe this is, Erykah Badu has been the host. And Erykah Badu is a perfect host for something like this, okay? Not too heavy, okay? It's a whole bunch of black people, you know, pretty much all black people when when you're talking about the Soul Train Awards, okay? It's not even as whitewashed as the BET Awards could be. All right, so you know, everybody's there, kind of mature, kind of ready to just have a good time. You know, it's always kind of sort of like the B-listers, even though Erykah Badu is not considered a B-list celebrity, but it's usually the B-listers in the R&B music game that shows up for the Soul Train Awards. Y'all see what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm saying, right? So yeah, love Erykah Badu because she is funny. People trust her. We know that she is educated enough when she's talking about whatever she's talking about, so people are willing to just kind of let her go there because, you know, we respect Erykah Badu. She's funny as hell. Okay, when she was doing that whole little Irma. Okay, who's the voice coach? The voice coach, whatever she was saying for Beyonce and for all of these different people, you know, Irma. When she did the little African jokes about Michael Blackson, you know, not too many people can do that and get away with it. You know, Michael Blackson definitely, you know, because he is African, he plays up his whole African thing in his comedy. So, you know, it worked and it did it. And yeah, I enjoy Erykah Badu. I don't know how much longer she's going to do that. I know she's a producer for the show, so you know she has money invested in it and everything now. But yeah, Erykah Badu, always enjoy her as the host. Do you think that Erykah Badu could do another year or two or three? Okay, are you guys ready to see somebody else do it? I definitely enjoy Erykah Badu. Next, you guys, let's talk about the Soul Cipher. They only had one. I was at least hoping that they would have two or three. That's something that they should put into the mix on these Soul Train Awards. I know that they got that idea from the BET Hip Hop Awards, and we always enjoy the Cipher, sometimes more than any of the other entertainment on the fucking award show as far as the BET Hip Hop Awards are concerned. So yeah, and they usually get some people that really got the, you know, the grit and the grime and the stank and the funk, and they put it on the music, and I was so 100% here for it. They had Molly Music. That was my first time actually seeing and hearing him. That's the guy who I was just talking about when they were saying that Jennifer Hudson was having the affair with him, and supposedly he's young. I was looking at him, I was like, he looks very young. I'm not quite sure how old Jennifer Hudson is, but I know she older than that Molly Music boy. But he was talented, and I can see where she has the appreciation of his voice. Then they had Fantasia. You guys know Fantasia. All right, Fantasia just can't do no wrong in these kind of environments. Like, this is her thing. This is where she shines. You know, she just, oh, that's Fantasia. She is the right person. She was great. Bilal, okay, I sat up there and tried to figure out who he looked like for the longest, and I could not figure it out. I mean, I was looking. Child, he had his hair pulled back. He did not look like Bilal. That's all I said. But I recognized the voice. I knew it was him. But I was just like, who does he look like? He looks like somebody that was going to take over the world. I keep on wanting to say Pinky in the Brain or somebody. But yeah, it was just like, okay, you know, once I got past looking at him, I was like, yeah, that Bilal, you know. And then I saw Faith Evans back there, and again, Faith Evans is another one who has that beautiful soft voice, but she can put the grit on it too. And oh, child, I love that Soul Cipher. They need to do more of that. If Erykah Badu was listening, I would tell her that they need to do more of that. And Erykah Badu was the DJ. You guys know that Erykah Badu, of all of her list of many talents, she also does do DJing at like some of these hip swank celebrity, you know, these big parties that they have. That's a new thing, obviously, DJing. I think even Solange does it, and that's a big thing. But I enjoyed that cipher. What did you guys think? Now let's get to the awards. There was only a few that was given out. There's a whole long list of other awards supposedly, but just 3 or 4 was given out on the show. So let's just go down the list. So for the certified award, there was a tie. Let us see. And it went to Belle Biv DeVoe. I just don't like when there's a tie on an award show. I'm gonna need somebody to make a decision. You shouldn't have, if the board is voting on these people, then it should be an uneven number of people on the board so that we ain't putting this ballot in until everybody has voted. Cause that waters it down for me. But anyway, I like Let Us See, and I love Belle Biv DeVoe. Y'all already know, child. And they were so hype and everything, like they always are. That Ronnie DeVoe just turned 50 the other day, had a big old party out here. Then we had Bruno Mars, and he won for something. I didn't write it down because you guys, at first I wasn't going to do a video, but he was up against Solange and Beyonce. Was it for Artist of the Year? I believe that's what it was, and Bruno Mars won. Some people were upset about that, but I was fine with it. Bruno Mars, they played his music to death on the radio. There's absolutely nobody that they played more on the hip-hop stations and the R&B stations that, anyway, as far as I was concerned, more than Bruno Mars. So he won, deservedly so. Just because he's not black doesn't mean that he doesn't have soul. So it's okay, you guys. Best New Artist went to SZA. She wasn't there. Bruno Mars wasn't there. All these other people that won was not there. So it's just sort of like, you know, that lets you know that the Soul Train Awards are not looked at even as high as the BET Awards. And they were saying it was 30 years that they've been doing this. I was just like, there's no way that the Soul Train Awards have been on for 30 years. And I just kept on trying to do the calculation in my mind. There were some years when they weren't doing it. So I was just like, how are they coming up with 30 years? But, child, that's what they say. We just gonna roll with that. But those are the only awards, other than the honorees, that we're going to talk about as far as the performances are concerned. But those are the only awards that they handed out. I tell you guys, every year they only show a few awards, and everything else is about the entertainment on this show. But let's get to the performances. Now, the show was opened up by SWV, which I love. I love to look at SWV because they look like women. They look like me and my girls, okay? Kind of full around the middle, little chunky. Might not be having the best hair day, but still up there, still representing good music. 90s was the best time for music. They used to say that it was the 70s, but now it is really the 90s. The 90s had some great music, and SWV was a perfect representation of all of the good that happened in music. So many memories to SWV. They definitely were the soundtrack of my 20s. But they were up there, they were performing. They had Method Man and the other one who performed with them the song Anything. The hip hop fast version, they had Method Man and Old Dirty Bastard and the other guy in there. I don't remember his name. I feel bad about that. But yeah, it was just, that Method Man, ain't he fine? He's still good looking, and he like swole, y'all. He like a Bufferina, okay, but not really a Bufferina because he don't have like a big booty. Like Bufferina is one that's like borderline fat. He wasn't borderline fat at all. That Method Man looks good with a T on the end, bitch. So then I was like, is that gonna be it? But that was not necessarily it for them. They did their honoree later. But let's move on to Tamar Braxton. As soon as she started, I was just like, oh, here the debate goes whether or not she's singing live or not. Sounded like she was live to me, but she sounds like she's live all the time, and y'all be trying to tell me that the girl wasn't singing live, and I was like, she sounded like she was singing live. This time, I 100% believe that she was singing live, and I don't like that song. However, you can't deny that Tamar, that bitch, can sing. That is her one true talent that she, in my opinion, should never stop because her voice is, she has a beautiful voice. The eyes, child. this one eye just kept on every time she's it was doing this. I said, girl, I mean, I guess that's what you got to do to get the notes out sometimes. You just got to make these faces, and she always makes these strange faces. I mean, I can't say nothing bad about the performance. I don't like the song, but like I said, I thought she sounded really, really well. Really, really good. The Daniel Davy guy. He is from, you guys told me who he was from. He was the one that was just on the little side stage that they would have like when they would go into a break. I like his voice. Child, when he hit that, it was like a falsetto, and then he hit this high note, and I was just like, boy, you best do it. So I got to look him up. Y'all tell me again where he comes from, the group, because I think he's part of a group. 112 I thought sounded pretty good. The good thing about 112 is Slim has such a distinct voice that as long as he still sounds good, the other guys are really just bringing up the chorus, and with a few of them, you know, every now and then singing their one little part. Slim is the voice of that group, so and he still sounds exactly the same. Okay, some of his little mannerisms, I was like, baby, you was old, you was grown now. We can't do it like that. Everybody gained about 40 pounds again. I like to look at when people look grown now. We ain't trying to be young no more. Even though they was doing some of the steps, I was just like, maybe y'all don't need to do the steps exactly like that anymore. But again, 112 is another one, child. Another one. Ooh, I could tell you stories. I could tell you stories about 112's music. 90s. Biggie, 112, Total, SWV, all of them. Oh my God. Great times. Great times. I feel so sorry for this new generation of kids. I don't know what y'all gonna be listening to. There's some good music out there, you guys, but it's also some terrible shit too. So I mean, I won't, you know, I don't want to sound like no old person putting the youngins down. I know y'all love y'all music. It's just a little different for me. Tank. I told you guys I don't really like Tank because I feel like Tank sings all in one note. Just always sounds like it's I don't even know his music. That's how much I don't like Tank. And every time I hear Tank, it reminds me of Jamie Foxx, because I'm sure Jamie Foxx's whole album, his first album was all Tank. Not his first one when he was played out Jamie with the curly flat top, you know, looking like Wanda up there. No, I'm talking about Jamie Foxx, the Academy Award Jamie Foxx, who had the album and Oprah loved and all of that. But Tank is talented, and Tank sounds good, and Tank is a good looking guy. But something about Tank just I don't get that, ooh, look at him. You know, it's almost sort of like he tries too hard. But he seems like he's a good guy. So we be trying to give him a pass and everything. But look, I was taking my notes. I saw him come on. You know, he was fully dressed and shit. I was taking my notes in my phone, and I looked back up at the damn screen, and the nigga had his whole shirt off. I was like, what the fuck his shirt go? My husband was like, why he up there with tuxedo pants and just no shirt on? I mean, it was real awkward and out of place. And I was just like, Tank, I mean, you couldn't have just unbuttoned it. You know, I'd have done okay with just seeing the strip right here in the middle. You had to get completely disrobed up at the top. Tank be doing too much, too damn much. But the women's, they love them some Tank. So I guess I can't be mad. But Tank is borderline Bufferino. Maybe he wouldn't look so much so if he would stop wearing these tight ass clothes. But I mean, I get it. He trying to show off his physique and everything. But I was just like, okay, Tank. Keisha Cole, she sang her song, The Boobie. And it was just like her performance on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. I mean, what was it? Love and Hip Hop Hollywood's, you know, the reunion. Somebody tweeted me and was just like, you know, you can't do the same shit that you do. And I was just like, everybody has the same routine for their songs. Everybody does. You think of Beyonce, you think of Rihanna, you think of Janet Jackson, who still is doing her routine for, I mean, we all know the damn Rhythm Nation and the Control and all of those different routines that they have. So you guys don't be picking on Keisha Cole because she did the same shit. All right, everybody has their routines. They stick with it. Keisha Cole ain't never been a dancer, so I commend her for even trying to do something new now. Of course, people are also giving her grief about it being copied from Janet Jackson. Let the girl be. Demetria McKinney, she also sang on the side stage, and Demetria McKinney also has a fabulous voice. Kirk Franklin, he had a bunch of people up there, you know, a mixture of folks. And you know, what can you say about Kirk Franklin? If you've seen one performance of Kirk Franklin's, you've seen 500 of them. They are all exactly the same. But it works for him, and people enjoy it, and he does get the audience pumped up, and, you know, so it was fine. And then let's talk about the honorees. Okay, first, we had the Lady of Soul Award, and again, that went to SWV. And I've already told you guys how I feel about SWV. We all know SWV's story from the reality shows, and also from the Unsungs and all the different little documentaries that's been done on the group. So we are well versed on the shit that SWV has gone through, and it's nice to see that they finally seem to be really okay with each other, and they're not just doing it, faking it till they make it, like how Escape is. Hopefully Escape will get to the place where SWV is, because, you know, we all know that Escape still has some shit to work out. They are on this tour, and that tour is either going to make them get closer, or it's going to make them really not like each other again. So my fingers are crossed, because they're saying that the Escape tour started, and it's off to a good start, and got a lot of people, you know, buying the tickets and everything. So I hope it works out for them. But yeah, SWV, I was there for it. I was excited. I was like, yes, I love those girls. And I like the fact that they did their own little tribute. Now, let's talk about Toni Braxton. She won the Soul Train Legend Award. 100% Toni Braxton is a living legend. The music, the catalog that she has, just her Toni, being Toni, she's a legend. We will never deny that. And again, Toni is another one whose story we 100% know, because we've been the reality shows, the documentaries, the movies. We know her story. The performances, all of them were strange for me. Ro James has nothing like Toni Braxton's. I don't know who I would have put in to do these tributes for Toni Braxton, but I was just like, he is not it. And I like Ro James. Jessie, what's the girl name? I was gonna call it Jessie J. I was better with Jessie J. I was better, but I still wasn't like feeling it like that. Like, I was just like, y'all ain't giving me what I need. I need it for this tribute. Y'all ain't doing it for me. And then they had Luke James come out there. And I was concerned, but then I was like, well, Luke actually was the best out of those tributes, because he can still make his voice very soft, and he can make it full. And, you know, that's one of the things that Toni Braxton has, is the fact that she can make it soft and feathery, or very, you know, growly, and, you know, all of this down here. Okay. So I was there for Luke James for that. But then when he hit that high note, which was great, okay, he was 100% spot on it. That's not what Toni Braxton does. So, you know, I was just like, okay. And then they got Toni up there, and Toni got up there, and you know that Toni is most comfortable on the stage. You can tell her confidence on the stage. She commands that stage, and that's because she does so many, you know, she has done the Vegas thing, and she tours like crazy, and she's always up on that stage. So she knows how to get the audience attention. Not my favorite Toni Braxton performance. Maybe because it was like a real quick, 3, 4, 5 minutes that they had to try to get it done. So I was just like, wait, what's happening? Like, I felt like I wanted to turn a little bit. I don't even feel right talking about it, because I know she has a lot of friends. I'm not saying anything bad about Toni Braxton. It was just that performance, it didn't feel 100% right for me. But after it was over, honey, Toni's confidence, and like I said, her command of that stage, you would have never known that she kind of had a few little off moments, because she is talking to everybody. She is involving the audience. She's engaging. She's thanking everybody, her kids, her management, her family. Okay, I was waiting for her to mention Birdman. She didn't. But, I mean, to see her working that stage, I said, girl, not many people can do that. Even some of our favorites are not talkers. Some of our favorites don't know how to talk to people. Okay, so when you see Toni Braxton just doing that, I don't know if that's a dying skill. Okay, But I was just like, Tony, girl, the fact that you just talking and letting it be known that you know that you are Toni Braxton, the legend, then I can't say nothing else bad about it. But that was it. That was pretty much it. I enjoyed it. It did not feel like 2 hours out of my life. People were talking about it being boring and all of that. I mean, the Soul Train Awards are never really that much. This is pretty much what you get. But a lot of times all of the real talent is in the ones that don't get the most shine. And when you get to the Grammys and even the BET Awards and the AMAs and all of that, you start getting the people that are more popular, but not necessarily as much talented as the people that, get into this little mix right here. So that's it, you guys. Y'all let me know, though, what you thought about the show, the good, your bad, your ugly. Y'all put all of that in the comments below. And I am going to get off of here, you guys. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm itsrox. The channel is for itsrox. Everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. I plan on doing the same. Until next time, rock stars. Bye.